Ever notice how your body reacts before your brain catches up? Someone raises their voice and your shoulders tense. Someone's mood shifts, and suddenly you're alert. You replay conversations in your head like a crime documentary where you're both the detective and the suspect. Netflix should honestly pay you royalties at this point. That's not you being dramatic. That's childhood conditioning still running in the background. And if you grew up with narcissistic parents, you didn't just survive. You picked up some very specific traits that confuse normal people and quietly terrify manipulators. Like emotional X-ray vision nobody asked for. Let's talk about them. First trait, hyper-awareness. You don't notice things. You detect them. Tone shifts, facial micro-expressions, that pause before a sentence. The sigh that wasn't tired, just irritated. You can tell when a room changes energy before anyone else realizes there was energy. As a kid, this wasn't intuition. It was survival. You learned to read moods like weather reports because peace depended on it. Sunny meant safe. Stormy meant stay invisible. The upside? As an adult, you can spot fake kindness, hidden hostility, and emotional traps instantly. You hear, "I'm just joking," and your nervous system says, "No, you're not." The downside? Your brain never shuts off. You're running life on high alert while everyone else is on airplane mode. It's like having a security system that screams at a leaf blowing by. Exhausting, yes. But here's the twist. People can't lie to you for long. You feel it before you can explain it. That's not paranoia. That's pattern recognition. Second trait, the chameleon effect. You learned early how to be whoever kept the peace. Quiet when silence was safer. Helpful when approval was currency. High-achieving when love was conditional. You didn't lose yourself. You hid yourself. You became emotionally multilingual. And you got so good at adapting that people assume you're easygoing, flexible, low maintenance. The "I'm fine with anything" friend. What they don't see is how often you ask yourself, "Who am I when nobody needs anything from me?" The upside? You can walk into any room and belong. Boardroom, family dinner, awkward group chat. The downside? You sometimes disappear in the process. You're so good at reading the room that you forget to check in with yourself. Here's the realization. You don't need to perform to be safe anymore. The mask protected you once. It doesn't need to run your life now. You're allowed to exist without auditioning. Third trait, survival-level work ethic. You don't work hard because you're ambitious. You work hard because slowing down used to feel dangerous. Rest felt like laziness. Mistakes felt like exposure. Sitting still felt like waiting for something bad to happen. So, you became reliable, capable, productive, and exhausted. You can outwork almost anyone, tolerate pressure like it's background noise, and function in chaos while others panic. Deadlines? Fine. Crisis? Tuesday. But here's the line most people miss. You weren't trained to rest. You were trained to endure. And surviving isn't the same as living. Hustle without healing eventually turns into burnout dressed up as discipline. Being strong shouldn't mean being tired all the time. Now, here's the part nobody tells you. These traits aren't flaws. They're raw power without instructions. Hyper-awareness becomes wisdom when you learn to calm your nervous system instead of scanning for danger. Adaptability becomes confidence when you stop shapeshifting for approval. Work ethic becomes freedom when you allow yourself to pause without guilt, without explaining, without apologizing. You weren't broken by narcissistic parents. You were forged by pressure. And pressure, when understood, becomes precision. You grew up in emotional chaos, so calm feels unfamiliar. But unfamiliar doesn't mean unsafe. It just means new. Comment clarity if this put words to something you felt but never explained. Subscribe to LoveLens. Clarity changes everything.